Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here each and every night. And just as I kind of alluded to in closing on Friday night, as I really, I think you could tell it was very honest, just realized in closing what this weekend's date was. So please let me start by saying thank you for being here each and every night. And thank you for being here on our first night of our 22nd year of programming on Your News Today. Never, ever, never did I know what was in store when we started this very small show at the time, but it has certainly, due to all of you and our sponsors, become a very proud mainstay of local news, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of that. 22 years now into our 22nd year. Amazing, and thank you very, very much. So, what do we have for you on our first show of the 22nd year? Well, I don't have time to get all of the news that we have. We will, of course, tomorrow be talking about Election Day turnout. We'll talk a bit about Election Day tonight. I also have later on this week, hopefully as soon as tomorrow, McGoffin County High School final football game of the season. This was a good one. It's got some highlights, a few other things that we also captured over the course of the weekend as well. I've got tonight a huge exclamation mark slammed on the end of a very successful and exciting season of racing for a local team. This was a good one. You got to see this one. This is a good one. Glad to bring you that. Have several calls of emergency. We actually had a couple of fires in Sagersville, McGoffin County over the course of the weekend. One which destroyed a McGoffin County family's home. And just as I was about to sit down with EMS and conduct an interview about that fire, tones started ringing and they got called to some other emergencies today. So we'll talk about that structure fire, the loss, and maybe hopefully provide you with some details if it's something that you can help with in regards to this family's loss. So we'll have that tomorrow. We'll be talking about a host of other things as well the rest of this week. Tonight we'll also discuss the passing of a local judge executive which served in that capacity for nearly 2 decades. More on his services and some other information as well. With that said, it is Election Day tomorrow, and if you haven't seen the short, sweet or not, I'll leave that up to you, sample ballot, you can get it in this week's edition of the Sagersville Independent and find out what all you can vote for tomorrow. It's a short list, as we well know, but of course, I think as everyone in the nation knows, considering the political climate and landscape nationwide, the race for Kentucky governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General, Auditor, State Treasurer, and our Commissioner of Agriculture, that makes the entire ballot for tomorrow's election. Please get out and vote. We'll be talking about just whatever numbers we can get when I see you back here tomorrow night in your election information. And of course, right now, State Secretary of expecting right around 30%. We'd like to see much more than that. We'd like to see 100%. We'd like to see much more than that here. So be sure and get out and vote. It's going to be a nice day weather-wise with only a chance of a few sprinkles in the morning, but otherwise the sun's going to make another appearance tomorrow. I'll give you a very cold forecast, though, in just a few minutes for your Friday, the coldest we have had thus far, and I will say the word for the first time in a forecast this season or this part of the year tonight as a result of that cold air and precipitation all going to be here at the same time. I will get to our first headline right after these messages. You're going to absolutely fall in love with all the new arrivals at the seasonal shop, from all the autumn colors and styles in ladies' designs, shoes and accessories, Charlie Page, Mud Pie, you know the name brands, to jewelry, Simply Southern, Natural Life, caps, cups, and more, to rooms of home decor. And all you'll need to decorate for the fall and Halloween seasons, plus everything from coffees to candles, but hurry, because everything Christmas is already arriving daily and will be out soon, and fall will be gone before you know it. At Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville.
my blog, I'm sure to leave a comment. Black Friday sales are going to be huge this year, and oh my God,
adults and their phones.
it's going to be a low-carb meal.
All right, hand them over.
Appalachian Wireless always wants you to get the most out of your phones, but we also encourage you to set them down and enjoy time with your loved ones. Happy Thanksgiving from your friends at Appalachian Wireless.
Right now, for pennies on the dollar, a huge selection of like-new laptop computers, a fresh stock of video games, the Cadillac of dog tracking and training systems, new hunting rifles, accessories, and ammo. And they always stock, buy, sell, and pawn gold and silver coins and jewelry with a new selection just in at Parkway Gun and Pawn in Sagersville, 349 Pawn. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to conleytire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by for huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. Several calls of emergency, not just today, but over the course of the weekend, as I referred to a second ago. We'll have an update on the one and possibly two fires that happened in McGoffin County over the course of the weekend. There was a two-vehicle crash on the newly striped and divided roadway, as of course we know if you've traveled at all, Restaurant Row, as they are just about to open up all lanes of travel pending the final surface of blacktop, which is being laid. It doesn't appear as though that had anything to do with this two-car collision, just using this as an opportunity to remind everyone, as most anyone knows if you've traveled to this portion of Sagersville at all lately, lanes are changing almost daily as they continue to put the finishing touches on the Restaurant Row project, opening up all lanes of travel and all side roads. This was an accident which appeared to be, according to Sagersville police who were handling the accident, an incident involving two local vehicles, several individuals involved, counting the drivers and passengers, but I'm glad to report that there were no injuries that warranted medical transport from the scene via ambulance, although you can see a significant collision by means of the damage done to both vehicles. The maroon pickup truck was apparently traveling west and attempting to make a left turn onto the road in front of Lee's Famous Recipe, while the other vehicle was traveling east, I believe, both drivers telling authorities that they believed they had the green light or green arrow. The accident, a non-injury, from what we understand, still under investigation by the Sagersville Police Department. I was saddened to hear the passing of a servant to the community over the course of the weekend, a man who I had the opportunity to interview on numerous occasions and spend some time with news and otherwise during some events. Former Johnson County Judge Executive Roger T. Tucker Daniel passed away over the course of the weekend at the age of 80. He served in many capacities throughout his life. One, of course, most notably being Johnson County Judge Executive for nearly 19 years, first serving in 2000 up until 2019. Daniel was the son of the late Carl Daniel and Frances Colvin Short, and in addition to his parents, he was also preceded in death by his beloved grandmother, Lizzie Colvin, who raised him, as well as a sister, Deanna Falcon. Judge Daniel is survived by his wife, Paige Daniel, two sons, Roger D. Daniel and Scott Daniel, as well as 5 grandchildren. Funeral services have been set for this Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the chapel of the Phelps & Son Funeral Home. Burial will follow services at the Highland Memorial Park in Staffordsville. As for visitation, friends can call on the Phelps & Son Funeral Home after 5 o'clock tomorrow and up until Wednesday's services. In lieu of flowers, the family has asked that contributions please be made to the Johnson County Senior Citizens Program or the Paintsville Little League through the Phelps & Son Funeral Home. Over the years, I had many opportunities to speak with and interview Judge Daniel. This interview here you're looking at was one of many that stood out most in my mind. This one filmed in June of last year, where Daniel was among many other Johnson and Magoffin Countyans recognizing Elder Abuse Awareness Month as he reflected on his growing up in Johnson County.
I have a warm spot in my heart, and as I told the people there a while ago, I was born and raised at my grandmother's down at the coal mining camp, and lived with her until I became an adult, and then went away, got married, and went away to school first, and then came back and got married, and lived here all my life, but knowing how my grandmother treated me, and how she worried about me when I was growing up, and how she took care of me when there was nobody else there to do it, because my mom was working out of state, and she would come home whenever she could, and send money back and things of that nature. But I just stop and think, I don't know what would have happened to me, because, you don't think about these things until later on down the road of life, I guess. So when I see something like this group that's coming out trying to raise awareness in eastern Kentucky, they're trying to solicit sponsors, people to help and join up and give us more clout, if you will, in trying to get things done. So whatever support I can give, I'm going to do everything that I can to make that happen.
Daniel was also the former president of the Kentucky-West Virginia Gas Company. From there, let's find out what's happening on tonight's calendar. I got a belated birthday wish. I've got a lot of new announcements and a lot of things happening. It's all brought to you by Magoffin Farm Bureau. First up, a birthday. We love birthdays. We love starting off a show, every show with a birthday when we can, and we most often do. And this one is, I'm got to admit, belated, and that's on me, Jerry, because Stephen called it in last week, and I wrote it down, and it was right here, and I got it kind of mixed up on my desk. So, happy belated birthdays. I know you celebrated your birthday on Saturday. Jerry Puckett, happy birthday from Stephen, Robert, and Michael. Happy belated birthday, Jerry Puckett, from a whole lot of folks who love you lots. Happy birthday to you. Got him. In other announcements, the Magoffin County Special Olympics Organization has a community meeting set for this Thursday in the high school's cafeteria. They are just coming off their very successful and fun bowling outing where they competed against, I think, Carter and Johnson and Floyd and Pike counties. A huge success. They're looking to plan future events and get some other kids involved. That's the Magoffin County High School cafeteria this Thursday at 7. And the annual Veterans Appreciation Dinner hosted by the Sagersville Masonic Lodge for all veterans, active duty, military personnel, and their families this Saturday at 1. It's always a wonderful meal and a wonderful time. Veterans and active duty this Saturday, 1 o'clock at the Sagersville Masonic Lodge. Teleworks USA is coming back to Sagersville with another job fair. November the 13th, a few days away, 9 till noon or 1 till 3, either time you can come at the Magoffin County Health Department, but you have to pre-register, and there's some numbers there on your screen. I'll give them to you over the next couple of days. One of them is 606-216-6811. That will be, of course, a week from this Wednesday. They have a session again, 9 till noon, and 1 in the afternoon as well. And the Magoffin County Head Start reminded me today that they're still taking applications for the next school year for your children if they will be 3 or 4 years of age by August the 1st. Contact them at 349-3488 or stop by. And they also said they had somebody walk in just last week after seeing their announcement on the show, helping everyone get a head start. Yeah, that's us with the Head Start program as well. And if you've got an announcement you want everyone to know about it, like I was alluding to, tell me, and I'll tell everyone else. In nightly funeral service announcements brought to you by the Magoffin County Funeral Home, one listing this Monday. It comes in honor of 61-year-old Michael Salyer of Salyersville. He passed away yesterday, the son of Alice Tackett Dutton and the late Warnie Salyer. Besides his mom, he's survived by his wife, Jewel Perkins Salyer, sons Michael Gregory Salyer, Gregory Allen, and Juan Manuel, and daughter Katrina Mollett. Visitation is going to be after 5 o'clock this Thursday, and prior to services Friday afternoon at 1 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Burial will follow at the Salyer Family Cemetery at Ivington. Whether it's diabetes, arthritis, or injury causing you foot and ankle problems, or excruciating pain in your heel that's often easily treatable, Dr. Cheryl Cheney has over 21 years in group and private practice as one of the region's leading podiatrists, and she's now practicing right here in Sayersville. Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney is now seeing new patients, young and old, at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sayersville, just next to the Lee's Famous Recipe. Call for an appointment today. We have finally done it. After years and years of extensive testing, we not only invented the chicken sandwich, we have perfected the chicken sandwich. Come and try it and love it with a big, famous dipped breast strip, pickles and mayonnaise, or however you like it fixed. And if you like, make it a double. Just make your way to Lee's to get it and grab a cookie while you're there. At your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where even our ice is famous. It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great, and it's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Sayersville.
After years of politics as usual, we now have an auditor that follows the data. Mike Harmon. Endorsed by Kentucky Right to Life, the NRA, and the Fraternal Order of Police, he's taken politics out of the office. Mike called out the state's pension systems for their lack of transparency, and Mike Harmon audited the CLEP Fund to ensure law enforcement and their families get the money they deserve. On November 5th, follow the data and vote for the best choice. Mike Harmon for auditor.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sayersville. 349-8785. I've got a couple of good sports stories for you already in the making for this week. We'll talk about the Friday night football game, the McGoffin County Hornets' final football game of the regular season. It ended on a high note, glad to report. Got some interviews there. We'll have that for you in edited form very, very soon. But tonight it is drag racing. What an exclamation mark. Martin Connolly and Connolly Racing just put on the end of their season. Fresh off, as I just told you days ago, their series championship win in Georgia in X275. Connolly Racing stormed the Maryland International Raceway at the 24th annual Haltech World Cup Finals. The World Cup opens up and combines classes. It's a once-a-year event. It combines these classes from the best in domestics and imports, pitting cars together that never match up in their respective classes otherwise, making it an ultra-competitive and ultra-fast finish to the season that everyone wants to win. They all want to win the Haltech World Cup Finals.
Sólido pase para el Mustang en el carril izquierdo, mi gente. 1.15 a los 60 arriba. 750, 183 millas por hora.
750 to 183 miles an hour. Good lap for Martin Connolly in the Mustang.
Connolly Racing rolled into Maryland on Thursday. They made one pass at a 765 in the quarter. Friday, They made 2 passes. One was a wheelie, and the other was a 7:49, a new best through the quarter in this car. And then on Saturday, they made 2 very consistent passes at 7:48 each, as they were one of 50 cars trying to get into a 32-car field, qualifying second among them all. And after that, it was 5 rounds of racing to get to the championship.
All right, so starter Jimmy Howard says, all right, guys, let's go. All right, so now we're going to play the game a little bit. Nobody wants to go in? Wow. Now remember, if starter Jimmy Howard points them in, they don't go, they now are at risk of being disqualified, but they say, heck, way to make some noise out there. We got ourselves a pre-stage burn. Jimmy says, all right, we got to go. He's got them both on the clock. Now remember, if they don't go in, they can both be disqualified for disobeying starters' orders. That ain't going to happen. There's Mark Connolly. .49, 183.
That was a quarterfinal round against a very quick Nissan GTR that was no match for the Mustang of Connolly Racing and Eddie McCarty, with Martin taking a lone trip down the semifinal run after his competitor broke, setting up the final between the number 2 qualifier, Connolly Racing, and the number 1 qualifier. A Camaro that on paper had Connolly Racing outmatched. The class that Camaro runs in normally in another part of the United States says all it has to have is a manual gearbox that shifts in an H pattern. Otherwise, it can have as many or as big of turbos or whatever else they want to run. And the Camaro ran a flat 7.30 to take the number 1 qualifying position. Now let's take a look at the Wild Street Final.
Haley James won this class last year. Will Martin Connolly keep it going for the Mustangs? Here we go. They're pre-staged. Grubworm's in. Wait on Connolly. Connolly's in. Connolly left on him. Not bad quarter mile. Give it to Connolly. 7:48 with a 2. Martin Connolly wins Fuel Injector Clinic, Wild Street.
Maryland International Raceway, the top end, brought to you by American Racing Header, and I'm here with Martin Connolly from Salyersville, Kentucky. For everybody in Kentucky who complains, my man, Wild Street champion, $5,000 richer.
That was to win World Cup. We just come from winning Georgia, SGMP, and we talked on the way up here to win World Cup at the end of the year. That will be just unbelievable. And we had a awesome hot rod this weekend. Eric Mitchell tuned it. Eric Gash tuned it on the dyno. We got Trek Flow Pro Charger, BES Racing Engines, Mark Minzer, TRZ Motorsports, Red Horse Fittings. Who am I missing, Dalton?
Dalton?
10 Soldiers. They just updated the car. They got Pro Torque. 10 Soldiers got this baby to work. We took it up there and they fixed it in one day. Josh Lindsay, the living legend, he set it up.
All right, well, you guys got to get to tech and get scaled for officially to win, and then they got a stack of
kids. No, and this is Eddie McCarty and Mag McCarty's car, and they let us do this with us, and Ed's got to be here with us.
All right.
Thank you, man.
You guys get up there. They got a bunch of money for you. All right, we're going to get over here. We got our last one of the night. You guys are up next. They'll get up here in front of the vehicle. He'll come around this side.
Get this thing out of here.
Yeah. Stupid import. All right. So we're here with the winner of Drive Shaft.
That was great. And yes, that was me clapping and cheering in the background as I was capturing that video, as I'm sure you well heard and recognized. With that said, I've got a forecast for you that is a bitterly cold one on your Friday. We've got a little chance of some clouds and sprinkles tomorrow. It's a little chance. Should not be any reason for you not to get out and vote on Election Day, because we're going to see some sun thereafter by maybe afternoon or so, and a really really a couple of nice days this week. Sun in the 50s and just hitting the 60-degree mark. But the bottom falls out of temperatures as we see a system roll in that gives us rain and, it's hard to say, chances. Thursday night into your Friday. Temperatures Friday only at 40 degrees right now with an improving weekend forecast thereafter. Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about a low tonight of right around 34 degrees under mostly clear skies and nothing more than a southwesterly light wind, 3 to 5, maybe 6 miles per hour. For your Tuesday, Election Day Tuesday, need I remind you again, get out and vote. No complaining if you don't. 53 and sunny skies tomorrow expected for Election Day. Now, there is a very slight chance of some sprinkles early to mid-afternoon, 8 to 1 tomorrow. We're going to see some clouds tomorrow and early with those very, 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 very slight sprinkle chances up until about 1 o'clock. After that, skies are going to go back to mostly sunny. We'll see about 53 degrees, and then we'll see about 30 tomorrow night, just below freezing. We'll see some fog and clear skies tomorrow night. Wednesday, sunny again across the board for your Wednesday. 60 degrees, pretty nice and mild, and 39 that night. You'll notice shower chances and increasing clouds. We're talking about mainly after 3 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. But that is the onset of what is really the only rainy shot we've got in the forecast. A 20% chance of some showers, like I said, during the overnight Wednesday, Thursday morning. But with those clouds, likely showers on your Thursday. And I'm going to say it, first time I have, this season at least. Rain and snow showers Thursday night, possibly before 2 a.m., and a slight chance of snow showers thereafter during the changeover or after the changeover from 2 to 4. Mostly cloudy and a low of 25 degrees Thursday night. And that cold air that gives us a chance of a few flakes hangs on Friday. Like I said, a cold one. We're thinking about 40 degrees under mostly sunny skies. That is the daytime high, mind you, not the low. 22 that night. No precipitation, sunny and partly cloudy, but definitely cold on your Friday. We'll get close to 50 as we rebound for the weekend, the first half of it at least. Close to 49 or 50, sunny, partly cloudy that night. Temperature still right around or just below the freezing mark. I think Sunday, following that, we'll see 50s, a solid 52 maybe. Partly sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 35. Still no precipitation, and really none there Monday or Tuesday of next week. That's it. As I said a couple of times, a whole lot of news to try to get to when I see you back here tomorrow. Election Day 2019. Not a lot happening, of course, locally, but please get out and vote, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.